All right, let's see. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into the AI chat takers as always, or note takers, I should say. Kyan, good to see you as always, my friend. And let's see if anybody else comes in here. Let's see who pops in. Okay, some more AI note takers. Um, okay. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go over here and we're going to just do a quick little reminder for everybody on what Dubb is all about. Because a lot of the times getting a reminder on things is great. And as people start coming in, we'll start working our way through some specifics. But just as an opener and just something as a reminder, this is something that you always want to think about in terms of when you are using Dubb. And it is this slide here that's really important. This is called the growth cycle. And if you haven't seen this before, it's something that the team put together where it's really about using different parts of technology with Dubb in different parts of the growth slash sales cycle. So here, prospecting is the number one, nurturing is number two, closing is number three, client comm is number four, content mining is number five, and lead generation is six. Now, when we look at prospecting, one-to-one video email is kind of the oldie but goodie. It's been around for a long time and it works very effectively. You also can do email and SMS campaigns for bulk, and it's always nice to have a booking link, either one-to-one or to many, so when someone watches your videos, there's something to do after it. That's one of the most popular call to action or CTA buttons is your booking link. Now, when we cover the technology for one-to-one video email, webcam, direct to webcam, holding up the phone with the person's name, having a virtual background. These are nice little quick ways stylistically and with the tech to really deliver something interesting to that person. Now, number two being the nurturing, screen videos are great for nurturing, whether it's the desktop app or the Chrome extension. It's all about showing someone, whether it's a website, a document, being able to walk them through with annotations, jumping to full screen, placing yourself in an interesting area on someone's website or property if you're in real estate, where you can really kind of nurture that relationship along with the right visuals. Three is the closing. You're bringing the prospect, you're close to the finish line, and maybe you need to send them a document or a listing agreement if you're in real estate. And you want to be able to walk them through what they need to do in terms of the right signage points, what to pay attention to, and using the desktop app, which can crop around documents, is a really nice way to do that. Also, you can share testimonials and case studies in case there's some last minute reassurance for that prospect. Like, hey, remember, people have been in your shoes before. Take a look at this right here. And then once someone becomes a client, it's really about that communication back and forth. And we find that video is a really effective way to communicate, not only just from turning the prospect into a client, but from the client and that relationship going forward. Now, content mining is a big part of the social proof aspect. So number five below here, getting those video testimonials, creating those case studies, getting those reviews. And that's something that we talk about in terms of the reply with video button CTA below there. If I want to get a video testimonial, I'm going to send you a video, have a reply with video button below, and you just send me that video testimonial back. Very convenient for both sides. If I want to get reviews, make a review. Hey, listen, I would love to get a review. It would be amazing. Click the buttons below that are set up for the different review sites. Just takes a couple moments to leave the review. And then for a case study, take a case study, get your clients, interview them, set it up, get a nice page. You can even do a showcase page on Dubb, talking about those case studies and how important they are for someone to see where someone started and where they ended with your product or service. The last one here is going to be number six, and that is going to be lead generation right over here. Lead gen is fantastic in terms of social media because everyone's on socials all the time, or it feels like they're on all the time. And if you're creating these posts, these 1 minute shorts or longer videos on YouTube, the Dubb desktop app is a really amazing way because the Dubb desktop app can go in 9 by 16 and 16 by 9 for the orientation. As far as posting them themselves, each social platform has their own way they want you to do it. Most of the time, they want the raw MP4, so you record within Dubb, download the MP4, load it into the platform. But just make sure that when you're recording these videos, you are saying at the end, click below to learn more, or whatever that next step is. Most of the time, it's nice to have a post with a pinned comment below, which means it's the comment at the top and it stays there. It can have a Dubb link or any link of your choice for someone to learn more. So when you look at this growth cycle, there is definitely specific tech that's related to what you want to do per step. And I think that's a very big part of what makes this successful when you are using certain parts of the platform with the technology. But I think from an overall perspective, something to really focus on and for today is really thinking about the animated GIF. A lot of the times when you record a video, just smiling is fantastic. Smiling was great. But when you look at a GIF, like when you hit record with a dub video and the first 3 seconds is there, you can technically with editing take a different part of the video and bring it to the front. But for efficiency purposes, when you hit record, what are you doing for that first 3 seconds? What is it telling that person that gets the video? Because if I get something like this, I immediately have some kind of context because I know on the phone, hey, Sarah, if I was Sarah, great, that's my name. Hello, that's perfect. But if you're sending this to like a group of people, whether it's a newsletter in real estate, whether it's an update within your contacts in any industry that you're in, coaching, consulting, insurance, mortgage, and there's some piece of information you need to relay that's juicy to get them to want to open this, click on this link, you can have it right there on the digital whiteboard function on the Dubb mobile app. So think about what are you saying to that person or to that group? That's what's really important. Because in sales now, if it's just some GIF that doesn't give me any kind of clue or isn't interesting or doesn't make me think about what this could possibly be, then it's kind of just boring. And I don't really have a link to even want to click on it. So you really need to think because the sales cycle in general is there's so many touch points, but when you're initially reaching out to someone or you're re-engaging with a group or re-engaging with someone you haven't spoken to in a while, you need to take advantage of the GIF. It has to do some of the selling for you. So by the time I click on this, I have context. And that first line that comes out of your mouth has to be something very interesting, whether it's a fact, whether it's a question, whether, it has to stop me and make me think. It can't be like, hey, I'm awesome at this and I've been doing this for years. People care about that eventually, but not right out of the gate. So, and I think that's really from social media where, everyone is so used to seeing some person showing up in front of our face and trying to tell us something, either, asking us something or, hey, this is a really neat thing. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. And I think every industry has to have that part that makes sense. And we try to do that a lot with Dubb when we do social posts or we do ads or, we do coaching with people that use Dubb. What do they see, and what's the first thing you're going to say? And then opening with that hook, making the video short, don't go on forever. Get to the point, tell them what you want to tell them, ask them that question, and then definitely bring value at the end. So if you're initially reaching out to someone, even though you want them to book a time in your calendar, which is awesome to have below, maybe they just want to do it, but at the same time, maybe there's also a value piece below. If you're reaching out and saying, look, I created this document right below the video here. It's got the top 5 things you need to be aware of, especially when you're looking at mortgages, when you're looking at properties, when you're thinking about coaching and consulting, when you're thinking about growing your business, when you're thinking about, any industry that you're in, check this thing out. So immediately you're giving someone something physical value. I can learn something. And you're saying book a time with me as well. And it's short, it's condensed. And then you can always say, because remember, there's a playlist of videos. Check out the next video after this. It'll talk about why, we should work together. So I think as far as when you think about what that thing is that you're saying, and again, this is specifically for an industry. So, this would be your areas. You guys are the experts in what you do. But if I was in real estate and I was looking at a property, like I'm interested, I'm a buyer and I'm looking to buy, specifically if it's a property, depending on the amount of time, because obviously, it's got to be a call, email, text, all that stuff. You do all that stuff. But the video itself, if you got the property address, visually put it behind you in a video. Just take a screenshot of it, put it behind you. You can do that on the webcam or you can do it on the mobile app. And then maybe there is a really important fact about that property that they need to know. And then you can put a little banner at the top. As far as that, guys, I see your messages about irresistible offers. That would be this right here. So you start initiating. Here's a fun fact about that property. Here's one thing you need to know. That's a hook. And then as far as the offer, that depends on you guys. as far as the end. Like, what do you want to do? With us, we always say, depending on the scenario, if someone was in a trial or they were in, they didn't end up subscribing. Well, hey, how does this percentage off sound? How about this coaching session? So I think from a real estate perspective, depending on what you're able to offer, you can give a fact right away that they need to know. It's just one fact you need to know about 1234 Jane Street. They start watching the video, and by the way, the irresistible offer is I'm going to give you, whatever I'm not a realtor, so I mean, whatever real estate deal you can give someone when that you have their ear. What does that mean? Does that mean, look, when I work with clients, it is extremely personal. And the fact that I just gave you about that property gives you some insight in terms of the level of detail I'm going to give you to work with you. So maybe that's like the offer kind of. Because I think, obviously with real estate, you get to work with the other agent if that's the case, or you guys would have more specifics on that. But it's more about visual. Wow, I can relate to that. I was just looking at a property and boom, there it is. Fact about the property, I didn't know. That's pretty cool. Or about the neighborhood or something like that. And then book a time so we can chat further because this is the kind of service you're going to get. I think that would relate to that. If it was in recruitment, and your employers and candidates, I mean, obviously, if it was reaching out to candidates saying, "Hey, listen, you want to come with us and we'll get you placed the right way," an opening is maybe three things that candidates that work with us do to secure positions, and they're right below in this doc that I have outlined right here. It's really great. And if it's the employer, it could be not short term, long term. Why do people stay with us long term? Because we prep them with this, and that translates in better results for you. In fact, I created a guide below that give you a couple of reasons about why this works. Let's have a chat further. And then obviously, if there's a deal in terms of what you want to offer off. But I think the GIF, it always starts with the GIF. What is said here? What does this look like? And then that kind of bounces from there. So you have to make a decision on when I'm reaching out for whatever the purpose is, what am I showing? And I think that's a big part of it. Um, Kyan and Jai. Hey, Jai, what's going on? Good to see you, Jai.
Hey, hey, Rob, just stopping in, man. Yeah, how you
Yeah, yeah,
doing?
yeah. So I think that's like a big part of it. I think, and you do a lot of that too with you have HeyGen that you're using for that, and you have that too. I just think it's more about if I can see from the GIF something that I've either been interested in or you're telling me something I don't know, I think that's a big part of it, you know?
And
Uh,
and I agree, Rob. But I kind of use the my showcase,
hmm
and every time something comes up, I just add another video on it, like a 30-second video of why I don't do this,
hmm
why I do this,
hmm
and it's really working. I just wish I can track the showcases a little better.
Oh, as far as like the individual videos on there?
Yeah, yeah, they're saying like cause I know people watching that, because every time my phone goes nuts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know, they're checking me out, so.
yeah,
I just like, I like to know how long. Well, no, because it tells me 100% video watch. It's
yep,
gonna tell me who.
yep, yeah, yeah, yeah. Because it's when you share the showcase, is it just like a playlist video, or do
Yeah,
you yeah,
yeah, that is all on there.
yeah, mm,
Darius had me reorganize them. For someone being more important.
mm.
So,
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah,
but yeah, it worked though.
yeah, no, that's
Don't
true.
ask them more stupid questions.
Well, see, it's I was doing a coaching session the other day, and this person I was working with, really great delivery. I mean, really good. It's just that the GIF was just needed a little more. And I think that's like the more like we kind of do coaching and we meet with people and stuff like that's like a big part of it, in my opinion. I think because it's got to leverage the next thing that you say, you know and worst case scenario, not worst case, but like if you have nothing else going on and you're smiling really great, well, that's awesome, we want you to do that. But what is it here? Is it on the phone? Are you on a page in a bubble pointing something out? Like what are the things that are going to make me say, oh, that's cool. What is that about? And I think that has to be part of it, a big part of it, I think. So, Um, the other stuff though, with the buttons, and the AI SIA, on the page giving answers and FAQs. I mean, all of that's really good too, depending on having a SIA for certain parts of your audience or certain things that you're doing. But I think people want things so quickly because we're so used to. I mean, me with my age, like I love watching. Yeah, I'm a big movie guy. Do I think movies need to be 3 hours? No. But like, am I 2 hours? Yeah, I'm fine with it. Like, I get into the world, I'm into it, right? But I think we're so bombarded today with quick, short content that it makes our messaging have to be more efficient than ever. As far as why, because people are just going to take their finger and swipe, which is kind of a part of it. And even if you're doing the whole omni-channel thing where you get someone on the phone, hey, listen, I just sent you this video. Because sometimes, like when you're doing outbound stuff, if you already send a video, then it's nice if you get someone on the phone and say, "Yeah, no, blah blah blah, it's great. Listen, I just sent this video to you. Check this out. It's actually got a couple facts about that property you've been looking at, and if you like that, book a time with me." That way that thing is already there, and they're like, "Oh, cool. I didn't know. Awesome. I check it out right now." So I think that can work, pretty much with any industry as far as that kind of a way to work through the cycle. Um, but Jai or Kyan, did you have anything specific? Because it's gonna be a short session today. It looks like there's just some AI note takers, and they don't have any questions for me.
No, you're not leaving. Not
Oh,
yet.
oh,
No,
am I
you got about 3 hours.
Get over here. Let's
You
see.
got three
Actually,
hours.
Kyan's got something. Let's see. Can you give an example? Do a mobile app video like an example in a restaurant. Yeah, so you can do if you had Kyan, if you had a restaurant thing, you could do kind of I don't know, a couple of choices here. You could do one or two things. You could do this. Here, let me show you. Let me share my screen. Let me share here. Okay, here we go. Just show in a second. All right, good old mirroring. Here we go. All right, so for that part of it, it's really update now. Okay, you got it. You guys want to watch me update?
Yeah.
This is exciting. Here we
Yep.
go.
There's an update now.
Bum, 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 bum. I think I think I remember seeing the task for this. I think was it a scrolling? Yeah. Okay. So for that, I don't know. I kind of like it's really just a choice, a creative choice. Like you could physically be at the place and go picture in picture. You're physically here, right? You're outside the place, you're inside the place, you're doing that kind of stuff. We've seen people do that. So that's kind of cool if you're doing it in clips. Maybe you have the front of the place, then you got the middle, so you're recording in clips, but you're physically there, obviously. That's one creative choice. But you also can do the virtual background. So it's really a question of, am I there? So if I'm physically there, is it framing pointing to the sign? Are you in like the kitchen? Are you near like an eating area? What message are you trying to point out about that place? Because we have people that do picture in picture for pharmacies and medical offices, but it's more about, hey, I'm here. I'm here because you can see that I'm here. And if it's not the case, then you got a screenshot on your phone, go here and just grab that image. It's really all the same kind of stuff. Like if this was the restaurant here and this was like, I got pulled up some shots online and this was like the maitre d' area or it was a certain part, that's what I want to point out and start the video and hit record. Hey, listen, I'm over here. I'm over in your booth section over here. And by the way, our products that we have actually can enhance this right here to make it look just like this. And then you can do a different clip with your own kind of stuff. So to answer your question, Kyan, either physically in person, picture in picture, or virtual background, all from the mobile that you can do. And if you're not on the mobile, then all you have to do is just go to their site with the Chrome or the desktop app, and you can do the same thing, kind of like in the bubble, where you're on their website and you're still pointing out the same stuff. So I think it's all about the visual in terms of that. Um, and I think that's really what makes a difference too.
Wow, that was pretty good, man. That was really good.
Yeah, no, thanks. Yeah, I think I don't know. I kind of like if I had to choose, if I had to choose, um, being somewhere is pretty cool. But then, you're involving, you're physically traveling somewhere and stuff like that. But I always thought for real estate, it's funny, like if that because I've asked agents this before, if the properties are close, like you just grab your phone and just go right there and say, yeah, yeah, this is the place you're looking at, right? It's, like and check out that porch. You see that right there? That's actually really neat. They just added that thing on. It wasn't there before. Like I always think that things like that are pretty cool. Um, but either way, just get interesting with what they're seeing. I think that's the point. It doesn't have to be like crazy creative, because not a lot of people do that anyway. So even if you're like a tenth of what someone else would normally do, which isn't even that, that's totally something. Um, let's see. Or or you can do a dub video at an airport, which is smart. Yeah, as far as the airport stuff, you could lean into the busyness around you and do some kind of cool things like that. Is your pipeline like this, or are your deals constantly like this? Well, listen, let's clear that out and then go a part of the airport where it's completely empty and be like, now you
That's
have your
creative.
Zen.
Now that's creative. That's good.
Yeah, now you have your Zen, and now we can listen to each other. So I think it's just about what do you want that person to see? And with technology today, I mean VO3 and all the crazy stuff you can do, which might become oversaturated, but I think listening to someone and having some kind of instinct about what it's about, I think that's kind of the whole game. I think the GIF is a huge part of like making an impact when you send this stuff, and it should be just more of a focus when you think about that. And we try to hammer that home, in the demos and stuff, and when we talk to people, but we try not to overwhelm somebody. Like someone's like, "Oh man, I got to be super creative. What am I going to do?" I don't do any videos. So I don't think it's about that. I just think it's about what's the reason you're reaching out? What's the one thing that if you had to tell me it is, and can you show that visually before the video even starts? You know? So kind of helps, I think. Let's see. Oh, that's funny. Uncle Dante is in insurance. Oh yeah, there you go, Kyan. Kyan, at this point, you could give a full-on demo about. But yeah, if you want,
You
have
sure can.
Kyan. You don't need
I
me.
think tell him to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can always have him come in though if you want. Just have him pop in here. Um, yeah, guys, that's really kind of all I have for today. I think that's kind of a point of emphasis, I think, on that. We have a webinar coming up on I think it's Ruben's birthday in July that we're doing. We're going to talk about auto a little more. Ruben's still working with the team on a couple of things on that, and then we're working on a couple of other things. But yeah, yeah. But you guys got anything before we go? Anything, Chai?
I don't have anything. I hope my stomach better before training today, but I don't think so.
Wait, what'd you say? You what?
I said I hope my stomach is better before training.
Would you have something bad to eat or what?
I don't know. It's been hurting the last couple of days. It's I took some Pepto-Bismol. It's getting better.
Yeah, that's good.
You
Yeah,
know,
it's distracting if you have that. That sucks. Sorry. Yeah, that's tough. Kind just said I want to go home, LOL. Okay, well, hey, home is where the heart is, right? So,
that's right. That's right.
yeah,
That's
of
right.
course.
I think he's going to California though.
Oh, out to here, huh? Out to
Yeah,
California.
yeah, 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 yeah. I'm gonna have Zanti take him by, drop him off over there by you.
Nice. Okay, just drop them off
Yeah,
at the Dubb office.
yeah, yeah.
There you go.
Just drop him at the office.
You'll
Put him
just
to
see
work.
Kyan running the live training. So, hey, everyone, welcome. This is Kyan.
Yep, there it is, right there. There it is. The training right there, right there. Got the
Yeah,
job.
that's awesome. That's cool.
All right, Rob.
All right. Hey, have fun at the other training today with Darius.
You got it. Hopefully, you got my message. I want him to show me that shortcut app.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure if he did, if not, and you're in there, I'm sure he'll be able to do it like that. So, so
Yeah.
yeah, he's awesome. So,
All right,
uh,
Rob.
cool, guys. Thanks for coming in as always. Bye bye, AI note takers. All right. See you, everyone. See you next time.